Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Navneeta from FunAsia Radio. Thank our CEO Vaishali Thakkar, because of who many initiatives and many amazing artists can come on FunAsia Radio. Today, we have a very special person whom we are interviewing from FunAsia. She is one of the leaders in Odissi dance, a dance form which dates back to 1st and 2nd century BC. And Odissi is one of the surviving dance forms from back then. But there are people who make this happen. And one such cultural ambassador from India is Guru Sanchita Bhattacharya. She is not only the leader in Odissi dance, she's performed worldwide and in very prestigious places. Across India, she has been part of many amazing celebrations where she performs Odissi form beautifully. New York Times has called her a dancer with perfection. And she's performed in the Madison Square Garden in New York, Ford in Hollywood, China, Europe, Canada, Singapore, and many places all over the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be having an interesting time talking to her. She's so beautiful, and when she dances, her eyes, her features, her attitude, her every movement is about dance. A very beautiful person inside, outside, and we welcome Guru Sanchita Bhattacharya on the airwaves of FunAsia Radio. Hi, how are you, Sanchita ji?
Namaskar, how are you?
Very nice. Welcome to FunAsia Radio.
Namaskar to all the viewers of FunAsia as well.
Thank you. You're so gorgeous, so many accolades, and such a beautiful dancer, Sanchita ji. Tell me, how did it all happen? Dancing to the level of perfection, it's not easy. How did this happen?
Well, I started even before going to a regular school. That means at 2.5, when I could barely understand which is left and which is right, which is hand and which is feet. So I think the credit goes to my mother, who is still, she has left her body, but who is still the guiding force in my dance. And now if someone asks me, when did you start? It's like I have been dancing ever since. It's like breathing. Talking about perfection, every moment we have to, I feel, I have to outlive the previous moment and come out as even more, not only better dancer, but a better person. You know, in dance, when we do bhavas, there is the sattvika bhavas, where the sattva of the person also comes out in the dance. So every moment, not only my physical abilities need to be honed and polished, it is also me as a soul needs to purge, uplift, and every tomorrow has to be even better, even towards moksha. Because ultimate goal of an Odissi dancer, a classical dancer, is moksha.
She's also acted. That's beautiful. A beautiful face like hers with so much emotion within her. Definitely, we could see throughout the interview how much emotional she is, and that is what an actor is all about. So we'll talk about her acting ventures that she's got into, and also a favorite or the most memorable incidents in her life.
You know, first I'll go to the second part of the question. Saying one or two incident is very difficult, but quickly I'll share a few. Once when I was dancing at Mother Teresa's in Calcutta, Mother Teresa's Bidden Street Home, which is for the differently abled children. So this was like 20 years back, and they told me, this is the first time the children are going to experience dance, so don't feel bad if we have to stop you. They have never seen something like dance. So after performing for 1.5 hours, the children were shouting, "Auntie, more!"
How
Auntie,
lovely,
more."
how beautiful.
So I went to sister, mother was then gone. I went to sister and I was bowing down to her and she was blessing me. A little boy called Shudeep, whom I can never ever forget. He came and started fiddling with my headgear and with my earrings and with my cheeks and said, 5-year-old. He was saying, "Auntie, you are so beautiful. Please come back again. I want to see your dance. I want you to come back and dance for us again." So I turned to say thank you. And I cannot, till my last day I cannot forget, he has just the white of the eye and no pupils.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm still getting
I'm
goosebumps.
getting goosebumps as well.
I said, what did he see? How did he see?
Oh,
What is the power of this music and dance, of classical music and dance?
Beautiful.
And the Odissi, that it touched him so much. Now I understood why he was fiddling with my stuff. Whatever he could comprehend or see, maybe like a film or something, he was trying to touch and be sure
How beautiful.
that yes, that is the thing.
unforgettable.
Unforgettable. I was dancing in a in India. They did it a stage in a school so that they could accommodate thousands of people. So after my performance, everybody came and said, all the words of praise. There was a lady who worked in that school as a janitor. She came and told me she does not understand Uriya, Sanskrit. She has for the first time seen Odissi dance. She came and told me, "Didi, when you were dancing Draupadi's Vastraharan, I was sitting in a corner and crying. So my dance could make her feel the pain and make her cry." Next week, that same number, when I was performing in London, after the performance, a Caucasian, educated, smart, well-dressed lady comes up, catches my feet, and I could feel her vibes. She just got hold of my feet. At that moment I thought, last week's that lady who cleans the toilets for the children, who has never come out of her state and is not even educated, and this lady who has traveled the world. Actually, what is the difference? It is the same soul inside and the same happiness and sadness that touch them equally. Few days ago I was here in I think in Albuquerque. After my performance, there was a couple. Usually I explain my numbers. So there was a couple. He was American and she was Colombian. So he said, "My wife wants to tell you that when you stood and spoke about your dance in English, she understood nothing. When you went on stage and danced, she understood everything."
It has no language. Dance has no language.
Such member. When I performed at Madison Square Garden, and when the program performance was over in the main auditorium, people started giving standing ovation. It was like, it was like waves of love coming towards me. Those are experiences I will take with me and cherish those moments forever.
Beautiful.
Regarding acting, well, because they wanted me to act, they invited me to act. One was there in New York, one of the films in New York, and once I did for a French director. And if such offers come, I am, because this is what I love to do, to connect with one and all through dance. Dance itself is, physical dancing, acting, my soul connection, total together, it's like a package.
Absolutely. And when you are creative more than one field, and that is what Sanchita ji tells us, talks about.
With that, I would like to also add, I'm so happy to be in Dallas because here I have a huge, wonderful group of dancers, of 25-30 dancers who would be performing with me in one of the biggest stages in this country in July. So I'm here to work with them, to choreograph from them, and lead them. So
So
I'm so
lovely,
happy.
so lovely. Such great work you do. So Sanchita ji, बताइए मुझे, how did all these awards come into being? I know you have been an award winner in a lot of places. You won the very, very prestigious Mahari from Bhubaneswar. You also have the Bharat Nirman Award, and there are so many.
Well, awards are like recognition in the path, saying that yes, you are in the right path. So they definitely are, a booster, but they are also humbling, because I understand the higher the grade of the award, the more is the responsibility on my shoulder to give even more to dance, to society, and to carry our culture far and wide as wide as I can taking it to virgin territories, introducing newer people to the rich, wonderful culture that we have inherited. So receiving awards is excellent, but they are like more and more responsibilities to be in the path, I feel. And well, what I have done is just danced, and rest is in the hand of Lord Jagannath. But the biggest award is when the audience clap, when they stand up and clap, when the audience cry with me, when the audience laugh with me. Few days ago I was dancing in Chicago last year in November, and I was depicting as Raja Ram because it was Diwali time, and there was a strange kind of an ovation after I finished. I was still on stage, and there were candles. There were this battery candles all over the auditorium because it was Diwali time. And when the other girls were dancing, at the end as an aarti to Raja Ram, the entire audience stood up and did my aarti. I was on stage.
Wow.
At that moment, I could become, for some moment, Raja Ram for them. That ovation is such an award.
It's beautiful.
Later I told them, why did you do this? As Ram, I had to stand like this, but you were almost making me cry. The entire whole auditorium stood up and was doing aarti. What a standing ovation. When I see a little child smile and bring flowers and says that the person is awed with my dance, when I see a person who does not understand the language, Hindi or English or anything, and for the first time seeing Indian classical dance and has been totally engulfed into it, those awards are the awards I pluck and keep in my, jewel
box. Beautiful.
And they keep me going every day, and I crave for this love from everybody, every moment, every day,
Beautiful.
every performance.
She lives and breathes dance. I also see Jagannath here. Wow, how beautiful that is, Sanchita.
Done in Amsterdam.
Oh, lovely. So beautiful.
In my
so she lives,
student's parlor.
breathes, and also has it on her. That's very beautiful. So, how did Odissi dance happen? Why did you choose this dance form and not any other?
Okay. So, when I have been dancing since I was 2.5, but that was all types of Indian dances. But when I was probably 5 or 6, my father took me to see Sanjunani, Padmashri Guru Sanjita Panigrahi's performance. It seems as a little girl I stood up on the chair and shouted and said, I want to do this Pariwala dance.
You were born to do this.
And Odissi or all classical dances are Nritya Yog. They are Sanyog with the divine. I am born in a family. My father is a Kriya Yogi. He is an engineer. He is a Griha Sannyasi. He practices sannyas within the parameters of Grihastha, the Shamacharan Lahiri sect. He belongs to the Shamacharan Lahiri sect, which is so very difficult. So I have grown up with deep understanding of spirituality and yoga. Yoga means the true connect, and doing Kriya Yoga, and always knowing that what is my purpose. Therefore, Odissi is the right path for me to deliver it all together. The beauty of the dance, our culture, our rich values and aesthetics, our epics, at the same, our ideologies and philosophy, at the same time, our in-depth higher spirituality. Now when I look back and think, I think I did not choose Odissi. Odissi chose me.
How beautiful. And I can totally see that. She lives and breathes, again saying that. Very, very beautiful to meet her because a dancer of her caliber totally lives and breathes Odissi dance. Sanchita Di, one more question. You not only dance for yourself, but with your dance, you have done a lot of amazing social work, spreading a lot of message across the world. It is, you don't dance just to perform, but that performance should mean to the world in a bigger way. Could you throw some light on that?
Well, first of all, I always dance for Lord Jagannath and never for
Yourself.
Never for myself. It is a way of rejowing him, you know.
How lovely.
So, and regarding giving back, all that I have got today, all the accolades that you have invited me here today, everything that I have is because of this dance, because I inherited that culture, because I was born to those parents, because I got the Chhatra Chhaya, the guidance of my gurus. Therefore, everything I inherited, it is my time to give back, and dance is my medium. So the things that I want to convey about dignity of all women, of course I regularly perform it through dance, through not only regular Odissi performances, but whenever I do dance dramas and all, like even now, and this I would be performing with the girls of Dallas. The girls of Dallas would be performing, wonderful dancers of Dallas would be performing with me at the Zappos Theatre at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, where we will be dancing about the dignity of women and giving women all the power to speak about themselves. Also, I try to focus and do work on LGBTQ rights, and have been I am grateful to Lord Jagannath that I've been given the opportunity to serve through dance for huge fundraisers for the cause of vision of the geriatrics in India, and for the chains of orphanages in India. So directly being able to contribute, through raising funds which will directly impact the change. One small little anecdote, if I have a time, I was performing in the Padmanabhan Swami temple in South, and after the performance, all the good things everyone had to say, and the president of the festival was there on stage. Suddenly a gentleman comes up. He is from the state where I have done a chain of concerts to fundraise for the eyes, of giving back the eyes. He stood there and said that all the pleasure that you got, all the anand that you, Nirmal Anand that you got from her dance, I have something else to say. This is the dance, this is the person who has been instrumental, whose dance has been instrumental for so many thousands of geriatric people in our country, plebeian geriatric people, to get back their sight.
How beautiful.
I was standing and crying on stage, and thank you God, give me such more opportunities that my dance can make that change, bring about that change, bring smile back to people's life, be it the children, be it the geriatrics, be it the women, be anybody.
A true artist, very humble, and lives for this happiness of others, which is so beautiful. And you know, she actually performed in the Cowboy Stadium right here in Dallas. So
Yeah.
performing worldwide,
Oh,
and
it was
we have been.
wonderful.
So there you go. That is Sanchita Bhattacharya here on the airwaves of FunAsia Radio. So now my question to you would be, what do you see your future to be, or what is your bucket list that you want to achieve in this lifetime?
Okay. Well, wish is one thing, and being granted by divine is, so I every day pray for guidance, that please give me the power, Lord Jagannath, that I can take this culture, the richness of this culture, and the values and the humanity that gets stirred and imbibed into the audience when they see this form of dance. So it is not only, there is something which you see and it's beautiful, and when you get out you forget, but there are certain things you carry it forever in your heart and soul. Odissi dance is like that, you carry it with you forever. So please, Lord Jagannath, take me to those parts of the world where it is for the first virgin territories, they get exposed to this beautiful culture. That is one. Please, Lord Jagannath, give me much more opportunity, so that the changes, the support that I want to give in my humble way to this, my gift back to this world, please create more opportunities so that I can give back more and more. And I don't know, I should share this or not. My final wish is, I always, when we start, we bow down to Lord Jagannath, and Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami. We bow down, we do not Ashtanga but Shashtang Pranam to Lord Jagannath. So I always say it should happen one day that I bow down to you, Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, and then never get up.
Oh.
That should be when you take me, when I'm bowing down to you.
How beautiful.
No other time, Lord. If I've served you throughout my life through dance, that is the time. You should take me to you.
Very emotional that she is. The future generation, how do you see Odissi dance continuing, and how much do you put your effort towards this being taken to the next generation?
Okay, first of all, about this generation, there is so many complaints. They do not have patience.
Time.
They don't learn. They don't do this. They don't. I am here. I disagree. I'm so sorry to say, I disagree totally. See, we are from a generation where the only distraction over a week was one Chitrahar we used to see on television in India. A little distraction once a week was maybe a half an hour cartoon program or some program.
True.
This generation, their life is distraction. Even you and me, we don't know how many channels are there, how many, apps are there, and what all is there. So their life is totally distraction, invasion from the sky. In spite of that, if they have taken out their time and have thought of Indian classical dance, thought of doing good music and dance, I would say they are in a much better place than our generation. They are much stronger, much determined. Intellect level, understanding, super fast. And they can understand this world and the digital world all in a same platform. So I'm sure this next generation basic IQ is much higher than our generation's basic IQ. Only thing I would like to tell them is, there's only one thing you need to learn from us, the previous generation, is perseverance. Perseverance is something without which one cannot succeed in any field. Talking so much so that I have a foundation back in India where very talented girls and boys from financially challenged background are given free of cost everything. Classical dance learning is expensive affair. Everything is taken care, and now they are ready and they are dancing all over the world, to be cultural ambassadors of tomorrow.
Wow.
There are, by the grace of God, I have students, like online classes started only with the pandemic, but for me, I had been having online classes since Skype started some 13-14 years ago, and I have students in countries where I have not even visited. Like when
That's
I started first time with China, now by the grace of God there are 200 students there. They did not understand the language, they did not know the culture. And it was through Skype, it was not through physical contact. So could you imagine what an uphill task was there?
Beautiful.
But they learned so beautifully. Here I had the opportunity to lecture, demonstrate and do master class in so many universities, best of the universities here, best of the schooling system like Quakers, Antioch schools, all the
Lovely.
schooling systems, and universities like the Duke, Brown, and many more, like University of North Carolina, Minnesota, University of Colorado, and I know a few I have just mentioned, but there are plenty.
It's wonderful.
So this next generation, they really want something nice, something progressive, and challenging. It is upon us to present them it in their way so that we can generate their interest. Not that they are not interested, they are much more focused in spite of everything, in spite of the hectic life they have. It is not their fault that they are born in an age when you press the button and the letter goes from one person to another. It's not their fault. I am very hopeful, and for this generation, they are very strong. They are going to take it forward, and I see a lot of interest being generated irrespective of ethnicity, which is more important, irrespective of the background of the person. Because our culture talks about universal truth. Shastra is that which is sthanam, kalam, patram, desam. Irrespective of that, it is true. It is beautiful. It is always acceptable. Therefore, I think this generation is stronger. I am with them. My vote is for them.
Wow, wonderful. So the worldwide Odissi is spreading. And imagine, that was very interesting to know, in China, kids are learning this art form and it is here to stay. And thank you to our leaders like Sanchita Bhattacharya. Sanchita Di, one more question. What are the challenges that you have faced getting to where you have? It doesn't come easy. Everybody sees the beautiful spread of the dance that you have done, but I'm sure it does not come easy.
Well, challenges makes the goal even more beautiful. So there has been, not that my son's growing up years, it was a challenge, because I was traveling all around the world and he was growing up. So, but then my mother was there to support me. So challenges are there. As a kid, it was not very respectable that, in the society it was not very respectable that I danced. But my mother stood by and fought with the entire world to say, I am going to make my daughter a dancer because she is born to dance. But then my school, my alma mater, Auxilium Convent, they were so very supportive. So that it was a balancing act, and not easy, of course, but I'm here where I
How
am.
lovely, and the cultural ambassador of India, and that's what it is. Every small effort made by her mom, her school, and everybody around her is what she is today. And so thankful and humble that she is. That is Sanchita Bhattacharya. One last question. What is your message to the world right now?
Well, we see there are two very strong forces in the world. One is ego, the separative force, and one is love, the binding force.
Wow.
So let us bind, be one. When everybody, pardon me if I am wrong, I'm just sharing my views. When everybody said the world stopped because of the pandemic, only we humans stopped because of the pandemic, but the world said, I got some breathing space. All other species breathed and lived. So I think this world is a huge teacher that we need to contain ourselves in the way we are treating the world, the environment, we're treating other species, we're treating each other. 2 years of punishment should be lesson enough for all of us. Pardon me if I'm
No,
overstepping
absolutely.
the boundaries.
Totally agree.
So my message is, now that we have seen the worst, I can still forget, can't still forget the pictures of Italy in 2020.
I know.
And, yeah. Now that we have seen the worst, and we never know what's tomorrow. And there are so many invasions from everywhere from. Let us not create further problems from our own end.
True.
जितना वक्त बचा है, let us support each other to live a better life. And if we can't do that, let us at least not do something to make others' life
Difficult.
difficult.
Absolutely.
That's my prayer. That there is so much happiness in giving. That is why I'm so happy to be here in Dallas, because you have a huge pool of local talents. FunAsia is doing such extraordinary work promoting local talents, and I am always traveling to this country. I am always in this country. So later on, when FunAsia does something with local talents, if my services can be of any support, I'm there to support you too.
So
And
lovely.
I would love to be of, and then
So a lot of credit goes to our CEO Vaishali Thakkar,
Thank
and
you,
we
Vaishali ji.
recently actually did supporting local singers in Dallas, and now with you, yes, dance can be the next. It is reaching the world. Beautiful. I've been touched meeting her, a soul who's so pure and so giving, and that is Guru Sanchita Bhattacharya. Thank you, my listeners, my viewers of FunAsia Radio. Thank you so much for appreciating such amazing artists.